What was that? Dude, I just tossed my backpack. Let me try.
Hey guys, welcome back to Ridiculous Radio. I'm Conrad, and tonight we will be bringing on Kina Mercado, I believe is how you pronounce it, and we are going to be getting into the species she keeps. She keeps some colubrids and some rear-fanged stuff, and I got Xerexia with me tonight for the stream. Just been working with her a bit. So, that being said, yeah, new place as well. So I'm gonna be like working on my reptile collection a bit. But check her out, man. She is beautiful.
How? I thought you had 4.
But
You have like 6.
oh shit, my bad.
So you got 6, I have 4. They have 2 more than 3.
But yeah, so it's pretty hot up here in the new place. Perfect for the reptiles, not so perfect for me. It's like 80 something degrees in here. Feels like a hot and sweaty reptile room. But yeah, so I got her, I don't know, back in, shoot, had her since January or February or something like that. And she's come a long way with handling with me. She still doesn't really like coming out, but once she does, she comes out pretty quickly. She calms down.
Where the frick are you? Oh, I found you. How did you get one up there?
But yeah, so sorry guys, I've just had a lot going on lately with the move. It's all been kind of a little bit different for me. Got the kids over for the weekend, so that's cool. Just kind of waiting for Kina to show up, so I got something to talk about. Yeah, totally was not prepared. But yeah, isn't she cool?
Oh, freak. I'm so sorry. Okay. Dude, it even bounces up another mountain.
Hey, speaking of her, oh shit, screen issues. Hold on, we'll work through it maybe. Let's see.
Oh, freak.
Oh, hello, there I am.
Whoa, I don't know how it's showing up on your screen, but let me see if like maybe it's my Wi-Fi signal. I don't know. But you're coming in as like a bunch of like green and purple and static.
That's weird. I can see myself. I can see you pretty well too.
All right. Well, hopefully it shows up all right on screen on the stream then. But so we brought you on to kind of so normally we talk like retics and we've talked boas, but we really haven't had anyone that's brought on like any rear-fanged venomous or any colubrids or anything. So we haven't got to talk much about those, and I know that's kind of what you like to keep. So didn't know if you.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I didn't know if you wanted to kind of explain what drew you into those.
Well, I mean, I kind of started off with like the usual like boa, like ball pythons and boas and stuff like that. But I don't remember what sparked my interest, but I got really into like bull snakes and pine snakes and gopher snakes, Pituophis. I think that's how you pronounce it. I can maybe. And I just like with colubrids in general, just how they have more of an attitude and they're always down to eat. They're way smellier though, but I just like them a lot better personally.
All
Um,
right.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, how often do you get musk? Out of curiosity.
I mean, I fed baby hog noses today, so like 4 times just today, but that's what you get with baby colubrids. So
All right. What's been your favorite species so far?
I, it always like I don't always I I don't have a one favorite. I currently am looking. My interest is in boiga right now. I only have 2 species or 2 subspecies right now, but eventually I want to get more. But I'm currently thinking about moving, so maybe right now is not the best time for new additions. But they always have piqued my interest, like just the big bug eyes and the big heads and everything.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, what would you say their care requirements are like when it comes to caging and temperature and humidity and stuff?
So for the 2 subspecies that I have Boiga dendrophilia, so just like the common like the mangrove snake, and then the Boiga sienna or cyan or the green one basically. And they're both in just like PVC enclosures. And I have in the adult female green cavity snake, she has like a humidifier running just to keep it humid. So I keep an ambient of around 80, 82-ish, hotspot of like 88, 86, 70-ish. And I noticed like they are, of course, is the whole thing with snakes being active at night, but they are definitely the most too active. Like the female, so her name's Emerald. Every like in the day she's always hiding in the back, but at night she's always in the very front of her enclosure, always exploring. So I just think that's really cool. It's like how active they are.
All right.
Yeah, not just
Now,
kind of sitting, like bone pythons or anything else.
right. Right. Sorry, I thought I'd be more prepared this week, but I actually just
I'm
like
doing this too.
so like I don't even have like that good of AC up here. It feels like I'm in like a really hot and sweaty reptile room right now. It kind of sucks. It's like 80 degrees up here, 85. I'm like, man. But yeah, so and I was kind of expecting Josh to be here. But um what so did you breed hognose then or
This year I had my first my first like clutch. Planning on doing a lot more in the future, but this was my first go and it was relatively successful. I kind of forgot that like after one lock they're able to, there's that. So my female ended up laying and I didn't expect her to lay for another couple weeks, so my incubator wasn't set up yet. So once she laid, we had to like, figure everything out in one night. But thankfully the clutch was pretty successful and all of that.
all right.
Did another split clutch with somebody that lives like 20 minutes away, and that went well. And I have all the babies now. That's why I was just feeding a little bit earlier. But I really just like yeah, I really like hognoses. Like, of course, they might be seen as like little like normie, but I just think they're pretty neat and super sassy and everything. Really pretty
Oh,
easy to
that's
take
good.
care of as well, and always always interest in them.
Now, do you keep false water cobras as well?
No, I don't.
No,
Mm-mm.
that's not
Sadly.
something. So what's like as far as like intellect goes, what would you say is like the most intellectual species that you keep, like that really like keen on everything you do?
I'd probably say the southern white lips, in my opinion. I have a pair, and they've given me the most trouble in the sense that they're too smart, if anything. Like, I don't know how to explain it. They're smart in the way that they know how to piss me off, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, yeah. So speaking of southern white lips,
Mhm.
Josh has, I can't remember if he's looking for a male or a female, but he has one that he's been looking to breed. Are you breeding this at all, or?
I plan on it. So the female is still a little bit smaller than the male. Maybe she has like another year to go, but then I think after a year, maybe 2 years at most, they'll be pretty much ready to go. The male is fully grown, about I'd say like 7 feet. The female is still about like 5.5, 6, and probably would just want to give it another year. Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, because I guarantee he'd be super interested in 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully I can figure it out and they don't end up, like cannibalizing. I know that's like one of the main issues, at least with them.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, really. I haven't heard much about that. So what happens there?
So I've heard with them, I have a couple friends that I've talked to just about it, and they've tried to breed theirs, and there was one friend I know that he put his parent together, and a couple hours later he went to go check on it, and the female was in the middle of like trying to eat the male, like basically had his head down her throat. He was able to separate them, thankfully, and they're both fine. But he was just like that was, interesting.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Um, yeah, I really like just looking at seeing all the statics really messing me up. Sorry.
No.
um, so what got you into keeping to begin with? Like, where did you start? When did you start keeping? Like, where'd your interest peak?
So I'm allergic to both dogs and cats and like anything with fur basically. And I wanted a pet of my own. So I started off with like a ball python, of course, in freshman year of college. And then just from there, my interest grew and I was like, wait, I really like this. And from there, I guess the addiction began. And here I am now. Mhm.
And when it comes to Boiga species, is there like a special way that like handle them? I mean, when you get bit, what's that feel like? I know they're rear-fanged, and it's like a mild venom. It's not really considered medically significant. But I mean, like, what's that bite feel like?
So I've been like lashed at numerous times and I'm no expert in Boyga at all, but I'm pretty so the many of times I've been like struck at, I don't know. I have heard from some people though that just as long as you get them off pretty quickly, you'll be fine. But I mean, I don't know. Of course, there are some people who have like for scientific purposes have allowed them to like actually chew and like see what the results are. And I have seen some images of pretty bad allergic reactions to the venom. But again, I haven't been. I've just been lashed at time and time again.
I gotcha. Probably the same thing with the southern white lips, though. With them just
Oh yeah.
trying
So
to break it.
oddly, my female is the more temperamental one. The male kind of just hisses, but the female has tendency to just wrap around my arm really tightly, and then just like hold on for dear life, and like to the point where I almost start to lose circulation. Like she's obviously really powerful, and I'm like a little worried now. Like hopefully she doesn't try to kill my male when they are in together. So I attempt to like socialize them together every once in a while so they're familiar with each other. But I don't know if that's gonna help at all. But I guess I'm trying.
Um, alright. So, where's some species that you'd like to get into keeping?
Um, I mean, obviously, I would want to get into like some more venomous stuff. I can't because I'm in California at the moment. That's just, again another reason why I'm trying to move out to or not Pennsylvania, Virginia, because stuff is way more loose there in terms of venomous laws. Would want to get more like rattlesnakes. I only have like one Norpack right now. It's so not much. I have like pretty much nothing experienced, but I obviously want to get more into that. Um, it's not really like but it's kind of morph-wise, but like more like like a leucistic pair of is it northern or no, not leucistic, but leucistic pines of some sort. I can't remember if it's like southern or whatnot, but locality. But I think those are just really neat as well. And of course, like the one species that a lot of reptile keepers want to have, of course, like bolins, but that's a far dream.
Right,
Mhm,
right.
mhm.
So when it comes to herping California, what kind of stuff do you typically find?
Abundance of gopher snakes, like that's the number one most abundant thing here, pretty much in terms of snakes. Like that's like the most common thing you find, gopher snakes galore. And then like California kings and Norpax and just kind of stuff like that. The occasional long nose, but that's more on the rarer end. Um, yeah, and then just like frogs and toads and stuff like that. There's one specific spot that I go to designatedly, and it's mainly just gophers and California kings and rattlesnakes. Those are like the three main things you find there. Not that I'm complaining, but I mean it's always plentiful. But I just wish there was a little bit more variety. But need to spread out more, I guess.
Right.
Hmm.
What is all right? So when it comes to herping, do you have like a lifer species that you've always wanted to find and just can't pin it yet?
I've always wanted to like run into like eventually like speckleds. Speckled rattlesnakes I think are really pretty. Like I just love all the variations of them and how, especially like the white speckled rattlesnake is like my favorite thing. And I have a friend who has one, and that's like a dream thing to own, a dream animal to own one day. I just think they're absolutely beautiful.
Oh man. All right. So
Yeah, sorry, I have no idea. I'm done. I have no idea what I'm doing. This is like my first time on, like a
oh
podcast.
no, you're fine. My brain's just been all over the place this week. So like
You're fine too.
yeah, and like Josh is normally here, and sometimes we got Keith on. So normally there's like a few people to like keep the conversations going, and then
Just
they
us
ask you about the typewriter thing, and you're like, what? I don't collect typewriters. I'm like, oh, well, there goes that question. Um, yeah. So, have you ever gotten into now besides snakes? Have you ever thought of like getting into like monitors or anything like that?
I mean, so in my current house, I can't, but eventually maybe I want to get like a tegu one day, like when I have space for a bigger animal, like for stuff that require more space, because I don't want to, like get an animal that I can't take care of and don't have the space for, and just like, oh, because I want you, I'm gonna put you in a small enclosure because I don't have that. I don't want to be, that's not fair to the animal.
Right.
So eventually, one day when I have the space and have the finances, I totally want to get into like tegus and stuff like that.
All right. Yeah, I've always been thinking about getting into like Niles. I think those would be really sweet, but yeah, like you said, space is
Yeah,
huge.
well, that's the only thing.
Yeah, you gotta give them the space they need. So what's the diet of your boigas typically like?
So the boy dendrophy, like the small one, she's still literally on like hopper mice right now. But for the adult green cat-eyed snake, I vary from like mice to rodents to mice to rats to occasionally chicks. And I like to feed chicks to some of my other stuff just to vary it up, and they seem to love it, especially like the pines and the bull snakes. Like they're sluts for it. Anything.
So I've heard hog noses that they've always been real picky eaters. How hard is it to get them to actually readily take rodents?
Pretty easy. Like all the ones that I have taken pretty easily. I mean, I have a couple babies that are still like need to be assist fed, but they're pretty fresh out of the egg, so they're still kind of getting used to it. I have one male albino Conda that is just not wanting to eat anything, so I'm still having to assist feed him, but hopefully eventually he'll get the hang of it. But I mean, you have those sometimes in the club. Mhm. For the most part, I have a couple babies that I've just like eaten frozen thawed off the tongs and have been great ever since. So I guess it just varies, but I've always wanted to do the thing where people think they feed like hard boiled eggs or like something like that. Not like full, like they'll cut it up and just like offer little pieces. Like I've always wanted to do that. Yeah.
Protein.
Mhm.
So with the pickier eaters, have you ever tried like the pre-scented like mice, like the ones that are like scented like scented like frogs or toads or.
Yeah, actually, I tried one round where I scented all of the pinkies with frogs, and I think a couple of them ate, but then afterwards they were fine after that. They ate unscented. I think just getting the initial meal in them just is like, oh, okay, this is food, and then they're fine. I think for the most, that's how it happened for all of them.
Okay. Yeah, hog noses are really cool. I've never owned I don't really own colubrids, but I've always admired them. And I love herping for like eastern hog noses and stuff because like their color variations can be insane sometimes, even up here in the wild.
Yeah.
It's really pretty to find and get pictures of. So they've been one of my favorite species. But currently I've been on this herping hunt for the eastern Massasauga. Probably for quite a few years, and I still have yet to find it. I heard if I go to southern Michigan, I might be able to have better luck, but I'm really trying to prove to myself that we have a good population up here, but it's not really looking like it.
Maybe
So
show up eventually.
yeah, that's what I keep telling myself. It's not miles and hours and days and weeks and yeah, it seems like it's like a never-ending hike.
Do you mind if I get a snake of mine? I kind of just want to have something with me, so I don't want to.
Oh yeah, no, go ahead. If you want, you can actually. I just want to see if maybe it's my screen or something. But if you can exit out and rejoin back, that would be
Yeah,
perfect.
let me do that really quick. Maybe the quality will be better.
All right. What? I'm doing my stream. Being weird. Oh. What the? Yeah, I don't know.
Is it better?
Yo, Cortez. No, it's not. I really don't know what's going on. This is the first time StreamYard's ever given me this issue. So I'm going to see if all my kids can maybe log on to YouTube real quick and check, tell me what's going on. You know what I mean? Cortez.
Yeah.
Can you go onto YouTube real quick and see what it looks like on your screen?
What do you mean?
Because my screen looks like this.
Let me see.
There's a person that's supposed to be there.
Okay, I'll go check.
He's sideways head and everything. All right. But
Can I just go on a random video?
no. Here, bring me your.
Oh, do I go to your YouTube video thing?
Yeah.
Your stream? What is it called?
Ridiculous Radio.
R-E-T.
I see. U-L.
Oh, U-L.
O-U-S.
O-U-S.
Space radio.
Radio. It popped up.
Did the live video pop up?
No, wait. Let me look. The live video I don't see yet.
Here, let me.
Are you still live streaming?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's giving me technical problems. It's really cool.
Nope, it did not pop up. What is the specific?
Here, let me.
Okay. I picked it up.
Thanks, Joanna.
Did I take the name correctly?
No, you did not.
That's how you told me to do it.
No.
Oh. I'll click on it. Oh, found it.
What's it look like?
It has a little picture. Oh, there's a picture of you on it. On the front. Found it.
Cortez just giving the phone.
That's the person.
Yeah, it's showing up perfect on YouTube, just not on my screen. That's weird.
Your phone's broken.
Yeah, probably. All right, thank you.
I can't hear myself.
All right, good.
Not anymore. It froze.
All right, sorry for all that. So I really wish I could tell you that I could see your snake right now,
Oh, I'm
but
not
I can't.
trying to find another one because everything is in fucking shed right now.
Oh man, I feel that. Yeah, mine just got out of shed earlier this week, so it's definitely.
So like here's something that's not in shed. Yeah, I was gonna bring on maybe one of the white lips, and both of them are like deep in blue, and I'm like, great, this is great timing, guys. So I just have my fall sleep.
So, I can't see what you're doing, but do you use like a hook initially to like get the boigas out and stuff?
For the boygas, yeah, I do. Mainly because they like to hide in the very back for the most part. Also, just I'm not very gung ho about just like sticking my hand in there.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
I have no idea how. Like the few
Besides-
times that I have like to change their water or something, they kind of bluff at me, and again, I don't want to risk anything just for their sake and for my sake as well. So I hit
Right.
her for those two. But for
Yeah.
her, she's oddly has like the temperament of a ball python, but and she was just kind of hanging out towards the front of her tub, so I just kind of grabbed her, and she's just fine. Okay, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing.
Have you ever thought about getting into like scrub pythons?
I there was an opportunity that I almost grabbed a 1.1, but I just think I didn't have the room at the time, so I said no. But I regret it because scrubs are really beautiful as well and really underrated too.
Yeah, I love the southern barnacks.
Hmm.
Really want to get one day.
Hmm.
So I think I'm gonna start saving up for one.
Hmm.
But you know, it'd be like a whole new species I'd have to relearn. You know, so. And I heard they're pretty visual animals.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. Again, like one day when I get my own facility or just like a house big enough, I'm just gonna get all the stuff that I finally want without restriction.
Yeah, that's definitely my goal as well one day, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
See, I'm not allergic to cats or dogs, but I got into reptiles like as a kid. My mom and dad were trying to breed ball pythons, you know, when I was real young. And then my brother had like a couple carpet pythons, you know, a boa, a rainbow boa,
Hmm.
and some other stuff. So I kind of just like grew up in a household of reptiles. So it's just been like my favorite animal. Um,
Yeah, that is awesome. I wish, yeah, like the first, like when I first told my mom, like I kind of like snakes. She's like, "What the fuck? Why do I snakes?" I mean, I still have a dog, but I mean, I have to take allergy meds every single day in order to like interact with her. But for the most part, I'm not allergic to a ball python or anything, and also I just find them really interesting as well. Like just snakes in general.
so as someone who's allergic to dogs, have you ever tried getting like one of them, what are they, like allergen free dogs, like poodles or?
Um, I think when I was little, we attempted to get like a golden doodle, but I just didn't work out, and I barely remember. It was so long ago. But at the time, I think at the time I wasn't so sure. I didn't know yet, but I kind of just figured it out within the past like 5 years. And I'm just really allergic to dogs and cats. But I mean, yeah, I enjoy. I love my one dog that I have. Her name's Margot, and she's like an American Terrier, or pit terrier. But yeah, like just especially dogs, meh. But with cats, that's where the allergies really hit.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah, normally like her lights out by 9, so she's normally asleep by now. So she's just kind of like passing out on my arm. Um, yeah, I try and keep her on like a 12-12 light schedule, you know, because they do, you know, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got her. It was about 6 months ago. She's 2.5 years old. She's had like 3 different owners before me, 3 or 4. Yeah, 4 that I can count. And none of them really took the time to work with her too heavily. And she came to me with like this broken tail section. It's gaining color back finally, but I think she's always kind of been nervous around people. So I finally like had the time to take with her. And she doesn't like coming out of the cage at first, but once she does, she calms down real easily. She'll like just eat food from me, So she's definitely come a long ways from where she originally was.
She's so cute.
Yeah, she's definitely I've always liked iguanas. We growing up I had one in I was in 10th grade at the time, and we got it from someone I went to high school with, and it came with like a full like really big cage setup that we actually had to like put together inside the house. And but didn't even use the cage. It was free roam because it ended up being litter box trained. We had 3 dogs and 2 cats, and they all ran up to it the first time. It just like pulled its tail back, and they all walked away. They didn't mess with it after that, and I think it's mainly because growing up, my mom would always bring in like rescue animals and rehabilitate animals and stuff. So like our pets, like our dogs and stuff, would always see stuff coming in and out. So they really didn't pay too much attention to other animals, you know what I mean? But iguanas have always been like something I've enjoyed because they're pretty intelligent. So.
Yeah, I think it's unfortunate because they're one of the most common animals that I see like on rehoming pages because people just don't know like how to take care of them and like what they're really capable of, unfortunately. But I also think they're amazing.
Yeah, you just gotta work with them, and they do have a really really like needy diet for the most part that like most people don't understand. Like you gotta have like
really like a good variety of stuff, not just like
huge variety. Like I spend probably close to $6 a week on her groceries alone. I mean, and I spend that much for one of the snakes for like 3 months worth of food. So, and then they need tons of space and definitely calcium. But I mean, they can definitely be very rewarding pets. You know what I mean? If the time, effort, and money is put into them, they're definitely one a very rewarding species to keep, in my opinion. So
yeah, again, those are one of the things. Like one day when I have the space and have the capacity to house one, I would totally want one in the future.
yeah, she's actually. I was surprised because my sister ended up buying her. I don't know for how much, but my sister didn't have the time for her. So she's like, well, will you spend some time with her if I give her to you? I'm like, yeah, I'll work with her a lot. But she's actually a blue iguana. Like it's a blue morph. So xanthic. It's an xanthic green iguana, basically. So she's like this really, I don't think it shows up on camera that well.
It's a little like, on yarn, so it's kind of like pixely. So I can kind of see it, but I do see the color. It's a really nice.
She's like a teal color almost. And she is. I haven't cut her nails in like a week or 2, so again, too long and sharp, unfortunately. And she still likes to use her tail. It's really cool. But yeah. So if you had to take one herp trip, where would you go and why?
Definitely like Papua New Guinea for sure. To either that or the Amazon.
And Specifically, what would you be herping for?
Um, I think is I believe that's yeah, that's where Bolins are originally found, and I think there are I don't remember. I think white lips as well, and some other stuff. I'm not really. I need to do more like reading and research on stuff in that sort. But again, that'd be a dream of mine to even just see one in the wild. So
Yeah, I know I think there's a couple different scrub python species that come from
they probably as well.
New Guinea. So,
Hmm.
um, yeah, that would definitely be a cool herping trip. I've never even thought of that one yet.
Yeah, and I was thinking also. I was going to take a herping trip to the Philippines this summer, but again, COVID happened, and I'm not really wanting to travel overseas right now. To see just like retics and some other stuff, just like in the wild and where they're originally from.
All right. So, being from California, you actually saw like a big change. Like, you guys were like one of the first states to see like it all go down when COVID happened. Like, what was that like?
Um, it was very so literally it hit in the middle of my spring break, like during school, and then so everything like shut down within a matter of like 48 hours, and then school like we're online now, so that was it was just all hit at once, and then with San Francisco going on the complete lockdown, and that's only about an hour from me, and I was wondering if we were going to go into lockdown, and I think Sacramento went into it wasn't lockdown specifically. It was a stay-at-home order, like a strict stay-at-home order. So, yeah, everything kind of just shut down, and I was worried about like, oh crap, like how am I gonna get? Like, I have a couple snakes that need live because they're assholes and don't want to eat frozen thawed. So I was like, can I go
Right.
get fucking like food for them? And it was super stressful. I mean, thankfully, like the initial wave of the beginning of COVID is over and we adapted, but it was still pretty crazy because yeah, like we were like the first state or one of the first states to completely shut down.
Yeah, so my brother actually, he works throughout like 20 different hospitals in like the Bay Area. And he's what is it? I think like environmental quality or something. He like goes around and makes sure like everything's like safe, and he said like they couldn't even hold up to regulations because like they had everyone in like parking garages and it was windy and it was cold and people were like tarping up like the outside of the parking garages to keep it warm with their cars, literally like creating carbon monoxide poisoning.
Oh yeah, delicious. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he said it was fun going through there and ripping down tarps, but then he told them that they'd run like propane heaters or something for him out there. But
Hmm.
yeah, he said it was really hard at first. But surprisingly, even with his travel throughout like all the hospitals and facilities he's had to be in, he never even got it. So did you personally know anyone that's been affected by it or?
I don't, but my mom is a frontline worker, so she had a couple there. So she works in the VA, so she had a couple incidents where someone would be like, "Oh, I like am coughing, and I think it's my asthma," and it's like, "Oh, you actually have like you came back positive for COVID. Holy shit!" And there was a situation where there was a nurse who basically she met with a patient who was saying like, like my asthma is acting up or something, and he tested positive for COVID, so they had to like, and nobody had their like full whatchamacallit, like quarantine.
Yeah,
They're like, oh god, do we all have COVID now? But thankfully, I don't think anyone got it after that brief exposure. But it's still a little bit of a scary, like, oh god. Hmm.
yeah, definitely.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it's definitely been freaky. It's definitely shut down like a lot of plans that I had for the summer. So
Yeah. I was gonna go on a trip with a couple people. We were going to go herping in Pennsylvania, but one of them came into exposure with somebody who had it, and they got tested and they were negative. But before they got their test results, like let's just cancel just to be safe and make sure we don't like accidentally infect everybody on this trip. So
right.
we're gonna reschedule, but I mean, it just yeah, unfortunate.
Yeah, that's actually where I'm heading. I plan on going to Pennsylvania to meet up with like Josh and Dylan Hain and Megan days and a bunch of people. So that trip kind of got postponed. I'm hoping like sometime in the fall, you
Yeah.
know.
Maybe like October or
get
something
things-
after maybe things have settled down and stuff of that sort.
Yeah, but then October comes around and you have Tinland. It's like,
Yeah.
and I've still haven't like my whole life. I haven't been to a reptile expo
Really?
because I live in northern Michigan and we don't have a single one. I mean, we had one, but I heard like there was like nothing there and it was kind of pointless for anyone to go. We don't have that big of a reptile. Yeah, and that's why I started the stream because I wanted to just talk reptiles, like-minded people, you know, because I know maybe like 10 people in my area that keep,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? So like there's not really, and like it's all the same stuff like ball pythons. I mean, my
Right.
buddy Jesse, he does annies, but that's,
Yeah, that's just about it.
you
Yeah.
know, it's,
Yeah, thankfully in California we have a lot of people like we also have like the big Anaheim show or Pomona Anaheim show, like again unfortunately postponed, but so many people there and a bunch of us meet up there after at the youth auction. Um yeah, I like expos a lot. I usually work with Lane Labs and I help them out. Um but expos are they're really fun, but being at them like for both days is very exhausting. But again, still fun as well, but again, exhausting as well.
right. Yeah, that's definitely true. Honestly, I don't know if there's much more we can touch on. I mean, was there anything you wanted to talk about in particular?
I mean, I don't really have anything. I was just kind of going with the flow.
I feel that's normally what I do too. Honestly, normally I have like my base questions, and like I said, there's like normally two other people in chat. So
Yeah, maybe
we
we
kind
can do another time when everyone's here or something like that.
yeah, that would definitely be cool. We'll definitely reschedule you and get you back on, and hopefully, like whatever's going on my screen isn't
Yeah,
going
we
on.
figured it out then. Yeah.
That'd be dope. That'd be so dope. Wasn't happening right now.
Really, it is. Yeah.
Well, I definitely appreciate you coming on and joining me tonight. I mean,
Yeah,
it was cool.
having me.
It's kind of like weird because, like, you know, it's just been a weird week. But
Weird times.
all right, and yeah, I'll hit you up to see if we can schedule something out in the future as well. Maybe when you start having some pairings and breedings going on too, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for stuff to grow up for the most part. Just like, again, I'm not for power feeding or any of that. So I'm like, I just wish, you know.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely understand that. You don't want to, you know, get too fatty of a snake or, you know, push their organs too hard. So,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course.
Oh, I guess one more question. Are boigas like a really like heavy feed? Like, do they have like a heavy feed response, or I mean?
From what I've experienced, it's kind of just like 50-50. Sometimes they'll be like, "Oh hell yeah, food," but other times they're like, "Don't bother me right around. What are you talking like?" So it just kind of depends. But I know they're best to feed at night because that's when they're out and active. So that's when you have the most fun feeding them. So
Now with your setups, do you run like night lights at all? Like just something so you can see them when they're
no,
moving around?
during the day. So the baby is still baby and is still in a tub setup right now. I'm actually just ordered some stuff to get her in an actual vivarium. But for Emerald, the green cat, I think she's in a I don't know what it's like a vision cage, and she has like a UVB during the day with her misting system, and then like heat, of course, and then during the night, I turn that stuff off. Um, and my room is ambient at around like 80, anyways. So that's a pretty much.
Yeah. See, normally I gotta run my stuff a bit higher than room temp because my room temp used to be like 70. Well, up here it's like 80 something. I'm sure the reptiles are loving it. I'm dying up here right now. But yeah, like I said, definitely thank you for joining me, and hopefully, like next time you're on, like the camera situation isn't so fucky, and like Josh and Keith are actually here. That'd be like super cool.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I can't wait for next time. Thanks.
all right, thank you for joining us.
Right, bye.
Bye.